Rise and Shine Rwanda, it's Monday, April the 6th.
Coming up on today's Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Justice and reconciliation. 21 years later, what have we accomplished?
More relegation trouble for Izanga.
And a new campaign by one of Rwanda's biggest superstars. Good morning, it's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Makeda Mahario. Over the next hour, we'll be bringing you all the latest news, sports, and lifestyle headlines from here in Rwanda and around the world. And the Rise and Shine team are here with us in studio. It's Monday morning. It's a new week. What's going on in the world of business?
Well, in business, we get to talk about what horticulture is getting like a major boost. We're going to talk about it as agronomists get to learn some new techniques that's going to help out with the agricultural sector. So really good stuff.
All right. And what about in the world of sports, Arnold?
Not so good news for Rwandan clubs over the weekend. APR and Rayon Sports both being beaten by Egyptian Giants and Police Songa National Football League results.
Well, all that and more still to come, but first, Rise and Shine story of the day. Tomorrow marks the 21st commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. The theme for this year's commemoration is Remember, Educate, and Protect as the country continues to move on from its dark past. Remarkable feats have been accomplished by the justice system, especially when it comes to trying those who committed genocide. From civil courts to gacaca, justice has been time and time again at the heart of reconciliation. Take a look. They were slaughtered mercilessly. They had sought refuge at churches and schools and ended up being systematically massacred. 21 years later, Rwandans are living side by side as the country keeps healing.
ubwiyunge ni urugendo icyo navuga wenda nk'abanyarwanda nuko ntiturageraho twifuza kugera ariko icyo nahamya nashimangira nuko turi mu nzira nziza impamba y'ubumwe n'ubwiyunge ubuzima n'ubuyobozi bwiza n'ubuyobozi butavangura abantu iterambere ubuzima ibintu byose bigatekerezwa ubona rero turi mu nzira nziza nta nubwo mu rugendo rw'ubumwe n'ubwiyunge ntabwo abantu baba bageze hamwe ntabwo abantu bagenda ku murongo ngo uvuge ngo abantu bose bari kuri 90%. hari ababa bageze aho abandi bari munsi ariko igikomeye nuko buri muntu wese aba afite umuherekeza muri urwo rugendo arimo.
The justice system, whether classic courts or gacaca, has played a key role in the reconciliation.
Mu rwego rw'ubutabera hakozwe ibintu byinshi nubwo byari ibisubizo by'ikibazo kiremereye guca imanza zerekeranye na jenoside guhana icyaha nka jenoside ntabwo ari ibintu byoroshye igihugu cyagombaga kubikora ariko ugasanga harimo n'ubushishozi kuko nk'uko mubizi twakoze ubutabera bw'inkiko gacaca ariko bukaba ubutabera bwunga muzi yuko ariyo nyito ya ziriya nkiko gacaca mu by'ukuri rero ubona hakozwe umurimo munini imanza zigera hafi kuri 2 miliyoni gacaca buriya yarazisuzumye irazica kandi ukaba dushima yuko gacaca yadufashije yuko ziriya manza ziba mu gihe gitoya kuko ubundi wabonaga ari ibintu iyo biguma mu nkiko zisanzwe abarokotse jenoside ndetse n'abakoze jenoside abo mu miryango yabo babakurikiranaga wasangaga ari ibintu bimara igihe bikururana, bisaba ubushobozi, bigusaba umwavoka, wajyayo urubanza rugasubikwa, ariko imanza gacaca, inkiko gacaca, washoboraga kujya iwanyu mu mudugudu ugataha uburanye imanza urubanza rw'abantu 20, urubanza rw'abantu 10, ugasanga ukwezi kumwe ubonye ubutabera.
As we mark the 21st commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, what does the everyday Rwandan think of how the justice system has dealt with the perpetrators?
Ubutabera ntako butagize ngo ubwo n'ubu ngubu abenshi batarakurikiranwa neza ngo birangire, ako ubutabera bwabishyizemo ingufu ntako butagize ngo kurikije n'inkiko gacaca uburyo zimwe zagiye zirangira bwaragerageje cyane.
Leta yakoze akazi kayo kandi ijambo ry'Imana ritubwira neza yuko ubyo umuntu azakora azabihemberwa.
Imanza zagombaga gukemurwa niko zakemuwe, yaba mu nkiko z'ikirenga abantu bagiye bacirwa urubanza uko bitewe n'ibyaha bagiye bakora bakabakatira urubakwiye, yaba muri gacaca byarushijeho korohera abanyarwanda, kabone ko wabaga yarakoze icyaha babaga bamureba vis-a-vis, bamureba imbona nkubone bakamukatira urubanza bakurikije uko ibyaha yakoze bimeze, yaba n'urenganwa bitewe n'uko aho yabaga yarakoreye icyaha cyangwa se ataragikoze bakavuga bati kanaka yaraje yicaha n'aha bamubeshyera, bagenzi be cyangwa se abantu bari batuye muri iyo midugudu muri iyo mirenge baramurenganuraga gufata umuntu baramubeshyera ntabwo twigeze tumubona, wabaga yarabikoze babaga baramubonye bakamushinza agakatirwa urubanza rumukwiye.
As we uphold the memory of those we lost 21 years ago, the reconciliation goes on. Regis Sheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda. And joining us in studio now is Naftal Ahishakiye, Executive Secretary at Ibuka. Waramutse Naftal.
Mwaramutse.
Uno mwaka iyo urebye neza turi ku mwaka wa 21, ariko imyaka uko ihita si kwisa. Iyo urebye ku butabera cyane cyane ndetse no kwiyunga kw'abanyarwanda, wavuga ko intera tumaze gutera kugeza ubu ngubu ari iyi?
Navuga yuko tumaze gutera muri izo nzego uko ari ebyiri, haba kwibuka haba ubumwe n'ubwiyunge, navuga yuko tumaze gutera intambwe ikomeye, kuko icyambere duhereye nko ku kwibuka, navuga yuko ubu ni igikorwa abanyarwanda bamaze kugira icyabo bose, ni igikorwa kitagiharirwa abarokotse jenoside gusa n'ubuyobozi, abanyarwanda bose bamenye akamaro ko kwibuka, ubona rero babyitabira kandi bafite ubushake, ugasanga havamo no muri uko kwibuka hakavamo imbaraga zitanga umusanzu ukomeye mu bumwe n'ubwiyunge. Usanga rero kwibuka abantu bamaze kubigira ibyabo kandi bikitabirwa ku nzego zose, kandi ubona ubu ngubu bigenda birenga imbago z'igihugu gusa, bikagenda bifata intera, kuko n'ibindi bihugu by'amahanga mu bihugu bitandukanye ahaba abanyarwanda n'inshuti zabo barahura bakibuka jenoside yakorewe abatutsi, bakaganira ku mateka yaranze iki gihugu cyacu cy'u Rwanda, ndetse abantu bakareba n'inzira cyanyuzemo cyiyubaka, ubwo rero ibyo ngibyo bikajyana n'ubumwe n'ubwiyunge. Ubumwe n'ubwiyunge nabwo navuga yuko tugeze ahantu heza, dukunda kubivuga uyu munsi byonyine iyo turi mu kuvuga icyaha gikomeye nka jenoside yakorewe abatutsi, ariko ukareba hirya no hino uko abanyarwanda babana, uko abanyarwanda babana mu kazi, uko abanyarwanda bahurira mu bintu bitandukanye, ari nibyo bikorera, katari n'akazi ka leta gusa.
Naftal, urebye mu rwego rw'ubutabera, ino habaye inkiko zisanzwe, abantu barababuranisha, za gacaca zo zagize n'akarusho, noneho zinaburanisha benshi kuko zo zitasabaga ubwishobozi bwinshi. Ese iyo urebye noneho mu mahanga, hari ibihugu bidufasha kugera ku bantu bahekuye igihugu, ariko hari n'ibindi bikigoranye urebe ugasanga umubano wenda ntumeze nk'uko twakwifuje yuko wakameze. Aho bigeze ubu ngubu bavuga ko ba ruharwa ese bagiye bashyikirizwa inkiko nk'uko twakabyifuje?
murakoze. Twavuga yuko kuva jenoside koko yakorewe abatutsi yarangira, ba ruharwa abantu bateguye uyu mugambi bakawushyira no mu bikorwa bahise bahungira mu bihugu bitandukanye byo hanze. Ibihugu mu ntangiriro byakomeje kwiganyiriza no kutemera kugira uruhare mu gushyikiriza abo bantu ubutabera, ariko buhoro buhoro naho ICTR igiriyeho ruriya rukiko rwa Arusha, hari ibihugu byagiye bibyumva gahoro gahoro, rimwe na rimwe abantu baseta ibirenge, ariko navuga yuko kugeza ubu ngubu ntabwo birakunda kugira ngo bose bashyikirizwe ubutabera, ariko ahantu turi ni heza kuko ubona ibihugu bitangiye kubyumva. Hari ibihugu byahisemo kubashyikiriza urukiko rwa Arusha, ariko muri iyi minsi mubona yuko hari n'ibimaze gutera intambwe yo kuvuga ngo twizeye ubutabera bw'u Rwanda, ubutabera bw'u Rwanda bukora neza, bwagaragaje ubushobozi, nta mpamvu yuko tutabashyikiriza abakoze icyaha ngo bahanirwe mu gihugu bakoreyemo icyaha.
Ese amadosiye ya Arusha ruriya rukiko rufunga, ko hari amadosiye twumvaga ngo u Rwanda rwifuza kuba ari rwo rwakagize aya madosiye kandi twese twumva ari nabyo, bigeze hehe? Ese wifuza ko igihugu cyagira ibyo ayo madosiye? Tubwire icyo bitekereza.
Mu by'ukuri ni ikintu cyumvikana, amadosiye yaciwe n'imanza n'urukiko rwa Arusha. Twavuga yuko ziriya nyandiko ni amateka yacu nk'abanyarwanda, ni ubuzima bwacu nk'abarokotse jenoside yakorewe abatutsi. Ni byiza rero yuko tutatandukana n'amateka yacu, ni byiza yuko ziriya nyandiko igihe ruriya rukiko rwaba rufunze imiryango rushoje imirimo yarwo, ni byiza yuko ziriya nyandiko zose zaza zikabikwa mu Rwanda, zigakoreshwa ziri mu Rwanda. Niba hari n'ibindi bihugu bikeneye kugira icyo bizikoresha, ariko bikajya bizikoresha ziri mu Rwanda.
Hari abantu benshi batubwira bati, cyane cyane abanyamahanga baza mu Rwanda bakumirwa bakavuga ati, kubona umuntu wishe n'uwiciwe babana inzu ku yindi, ari abantu babaye basigaye ari abantu b'ababanyi b'abaturanyi, kandi uzi neza amateka y'iki gihugu. Ese iyo tuvuze ku bwiyunge, wowe ubona bigeze hehe?
Nibyo navugaga, nakubwira yuko ubu ngubu turi ahantu heza, twateye intambwe. Mu by'ukuri icyaha cyakozwe kirakomeye, ariko nk'abanyarwanda icyo twahisemo ni uko igihugu kibaho, abantu ibibazo bagize bakabirenga, bagatera intambwe, bakavuga bati nubwo habaye jenoside, nubwo habaye ubuyobozi bubi bugategura jenoside bukayishyira mu bikorwa bukayishoramo abanyarwanda, ni byiza yuko uyu munsi tudapfusha ubusa amahirwe dufite yo kugira ubuyobozi bwiza, ubuyobozi butekerereza neza, bufatanya n'abenegihugu bose, butavangura. Turavuga tuti ubwo tubonye ubu buyobozi, abantu bose, umuntu wese akumva yatera intambwe igana imbere, akareka guheranwa n'agahinda, akareka guheranwa n'amateka, umuntu akareba imbere kugira ngo iki gihugu cyacu nk'u Rwanda ejo bundi kikomeze kibe igihugu kitazongera kurangwamo umwiryane cyangwa jenoside ukundi.
Naftali ahishakiye, turagushima, twaba dushima nayibuka kuba witabiriye iki kiganiro cyacu muri iki gitondo.
Murakoze namwe.
You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be right back after the break.
Connect to Lusaka 3 times a week starting 27th March. Enjoy comfort and safety at affordable fares to 17 other destinations across Africa and the Middle East.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Let's get to today's business headlines. Fidelis Kadangwa has the details.
Business stories making headlines today. The National Agricultural Export Board has started a crackdown campaign targeting illegal coffee processors and dealers. The drive, which started in Gasabo district last week, seeks to clean up coffee trade and promote the use of coffee washing stations. Officials say the crackdown will push out all the illegal processors across the country as they are a threat to the coffee sector. They also added that this campaign will improve the quality of coffee produced in the country and enhance the value of Rwanda's coffee exports. The horticulture industry received a major boost following the graduation of experts in agronomics from the Agro Studies Institute in Israel. The agronomics undertook course in vegetable and fruit tree farming, soil conservation, plant protection, and irrigation techniques, among others, which will help promote smart farming through innovation and help increase the production and value of horticultural products. So far, over 150 local agro-experts have graduated from the center, while 130 others are still undertaking the program. And the cost of internet in the region is expected to go down after Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda agreed to harmonize taxes constituting data prices. The ministers of ICT of the three countries said they were working towards replicating the achievements of the One Area Network initiative, which has resulted in lower calling rates on regional data charges. Solutions like reviewing the tax regime are already underway to resolve the high cost of internet, as this is a vital part for the development of the region.
So, Fidelis, what do you have for us for the rest of the week in business?
Well, in business this week we get to focus on basically people who were affected by the genocide. So these are most of the people are young people who lost people in the genocide, who were directly affected by the genocide, but have been able to come out of it and start up really successful businesses and are doing very well for themselves. So very inspirational stories, and I'm sure all of us are going to learn a lot from that.
Looking forward to it.
Well, you're up to date today's business headlines. Sports news coming up next in just a minute with Arnold Crusader.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sports news. I'm Arnold Quizera. National League champions APR and Peace Cup champions Rayon Sports will have to wait another year if they are to rewrite Rwandan football history after being dumped out of the African Champions League and the Confederations of African competition by Egyptian giants Al Ahly and Zamalek, respectively. Coming to the fixture with a mountain to climb, having lost the first leg at home, APR needed at least a 2-goal victory for any chance of qualification to the round of 16, but goals from Mohamed Zakaria all but ensured the 9-time African champions move on to face Morocco's Maghreb Tetouan in the next round. Moving on to volleyball, Innertech Volley Club bounced back from their disappointing loss to Rayon Sports Volley Club with a thrilling 5-set victory over APR Volley Club at the Amahoro Stadium. Innertech looked to be in cruise control of the fixture, winning the first 2 sets, 25-21 and 25-17, but the Army side bounced back to sweep the next 2 sets in comfortable fashion, winning 25-17, 25-16 to set up a grueling 5th set. Innertech regained their composure to register a 16-8 victory to finish in the 2nd seed position before the playoffs. In the English Premier League, Arsenal all but sealed a spot in the next year's Champions League after registering an emphatic victory over rivals Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. First half goals from Hector Bellerin, Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil put the Gunners on their way to a comfortable victory, moving them 9 points ahead of 5th place Liverpool and 2nd in the Premier League standings. Jordan Henderson pulled one back for Liverpool before Olivier Giroud added his 6th in as many games for a 4-1 win for Arsene Wenger's men. In the other games, Manchester United were 3-1 winners over Aston Villa to move 3rd, while Chelsea held on to the top spot with a narrow 2-1 victory over Stoke City. Champions Manchester City host Crystal Palace in today's fixture. The pressure was piling on Kasambugo as Police FC tactician, going by the previous results, and the former AS Kigali man needed a victory against relegation-threatened Isonga Football Club at the Ferrafa Stadium over the weekend. Check it out. New national team coach John McKinstry is keen on increasing the depth within the national team ranks, but not much could be said of the quality on display in the Police vs Isonga fixture at the Ferrafa Stadium. With the pressure mounting on Police coach Kasambugo, the former AS Kigali tactician sprang the changes with a notable one in the goalkeeping department. After a dull first half, the match came into light in the closing stages after 2 quick goals from Innocent Tujirimana and Vianney put the law enforcers in the driving seat. But a late goal from the development side ensured for a grand finish to the game with 3 minutes to go. Isonga tactician Innocent Seninga is still optimistic of his team's chances for survival.
Icyizere ntago ari ijana ku ijana, ariko niyo twamanuka tugomba kumanuka nk'abagabo, tugomba gukora cyane abana bagaragaza ko barangije byibura sezo ba performance yabo iri hejuru n'ubwo rezilita yabuze.
Mbugo was keen on pointing out the importance of the win, more so without a string of his starting 11.
L'équipe déjà diminue tellement nka Jacques, ari meilleur buteur w'ikipe, tellement Crespo, tellement Mwemere, tellement Gabi, tellement on a ko déjà une équipe iri diminuée, ariko je nizera ko pour moi iyi saison ntago ari nziza, ariko ndibaza ko nkomeza gutegura saison itaha kugira ngo izakomeze kuba nziza. Nibaze ko polisi y'ubu ntago kurwana igikombe, nibaza ko byaba bikomeye, ariko nibaza ko ubutaha umwaka utaha muri saison ikurikiyeho tuzaba dufite equipe nziza kandi izaba irwanira ibikombe nk'izindi zose.
Mbugo's former side AS Kigali are back to the top of the summit after another win that rules out Police's slim chances of league silverware this season. Arnold Quizera, Rise and Shine, Rwanda.
All right, Arnold. Police FC, when it comes to Kasambungos and the job he's doing there, what do you make of their chances when it comes to winning the title?
I think Police is, Kasamugo has been kind of unlucky when you say at Police Football Club. He has not enjoyed the same freedom he had at AS Kigali the previous season. He put up a good side at AS Kigali when we saw them perform last year, and I think that's the benchmark that Eric has used to propel AS Kigali to now go to the top of the National Football League standings. He has faced a lot of pressure on which players to play, and rumors coming out of the Police FC camp say the administration has interfered with some of his work. But when we spoke to him after the match at the press conference in the match against Isonga, he says this police team, he has a 2-year contract which he hopes to see out, and he thinks this police team will be good enough to compete for the National League title come next year. He looks ahead to the Amahoro Cup, thinking that they can qualify for the CAF Confederations Cup through the Amahoro Cup, possibly thinking Police Football Club can win it. I think he's very good with the knockout competitions. We saw that earlier in the year with the Heroes Tournament. I think they played a very good Police football at the Malaria tournament. They beat Rayon Sport by 2-1, going on into the final with AS Kigali, which they won. So I think he's a very good tactician. It will be unfortunate if Police FC fire him, and he has just come in to replace Sam Simbwa, who is a renowned, one of the best coaches in the region, and I think he's doing an okay job at Police Football Club.
Now, staying here at home, Rayon Sport, APR FC did not do any miracles when it came to the return legs. Both of them are out. So no Egyptian miracle here.
And no miracle here, especially with the Easter weekend. But when you look at the APR vs Al Ahly fixture, we didn't expect much from APR going into Egypt, having lost the first leg 2-0. But we expected something different from Rayon Sports coming to this fixture. They needed only 2 goals to go into the next round of 16, which could have been a first-timer for a Rwandan team. They missed a lot of chances. They had themselves to blame. Peter Otema missed 2 glorious chances in the opening minutes for Rayon Sport, and you feel if he had converted those chances, it could have propelled Rayon Sports onto a great victory. But they let the Egyptians grow into the game. Coming here to win by a 3-0 scoreline, better than what they did in Egypt, having won 3-1. Don't forget, these Egyptian clubs don't play with any fans when it comes to their home fixtures, which means it's more of a neutral ground fixture, maybe apart from the weather aspect, which the Rwandan teams may not be used to because it's a little bit a higher altitude. But I think Rayon Sports is the one team that you could have expected to give us a fair result. But by going, I think the 3-0 result was a reflection of what Rayon Sport is at the moment. They are a disorganized club. A lot of administrative wrangles, putting old wine into new bottles. A lot of old coaches are being brought back. They're not paying. They're not living within their means. And I think all in all, Rwandan teams were not good enough. But then this brings us to the question of the banning of naturalized players in Rwanda, because you felt these teams could have done with so many of these players. I got a chance to speak to the former APR coach, Petrovic, and he said the current crop of Rwandan players are not yet good enough to compete against the best on the continent. And I think you could tell by these fixtures. Yes, they are good enough for the local Rwandan league, but they need that added experience, that added exposure, especially when it comes up front. And I think if we accept that and pick a leaf from the other continental powerhouses, because when you look at a team like the Zamaleks and Al Ahly in Egypt, these teams, despite having a bulk of their players being Egyptians, they have 3-4 Nigerians in them, a Congolese, a Senegalese somewhere there, who are better strikers, and who they learn from. So I think we rushed into some of the processes and systems we put in place, and those are the dividends you get for such decisions.
Now, Arnold, I'm an Arsenal fanatic. And God knows we've gone through our ups and downs, and it hasn't been great the last...
So you finally mention your team.
Absolutely, the past couple of years. But, I mean, this hasn't been your best weekend, I suppose.
No, not good at all. From rugby to the football, all teams are not doing
happened?
well.
What happened?
Yeah, over the weekend, Liverpool versus Arsenal. I think Liverpool have themselves to blame for that fixture. You felt they lacked they missed out a lot of players. I don't see Mario Balotelli's future now at Anfield, being that Brendan Rodgers showed a lot of frustration in the pre-match press conference, talking about how Balotelli said he is not fit enough to play the fixture against Arsenal, despite the medical team saying he can go on to play that. So he pulled himself out of the squad. again, Daniel Sturridge wasn't fit enough for this fixture. Arsenal could have gone on to score 2-3 goals in the first 10 minutes.
It's good that you admit that. I like that.
Yeah, you know, some things are said as they have to be said as they are. But I think Liverpool have themselves to blame, especially when you come to look at that defensive partnership. Brendan Rodgers needs to answer to the fans about putting Kolo Toure ahead of Lovren. You know, Kolo Toure was a ticking time bomb in that game. You expect every time he touched the ball, you expected Arsenal to go on and score a goal. Maybe it looked like Arsenal had 12 players with one in a black shirt on the weekend in Kolo Toure. But Liverpool, Raheem Sterling missing a couple of chances early on. I think if Liverpool had gone on to take those chances, it could have been a different fixture. But this is a matter of ifs, and Liverpool didn't. Arsenal showed up, the best team won, and I don't see Liverpool qualifying for the Champions League.
Man, Arsenal won, Real Madrid won emphatically. I have nothing to be mad about. Thank you,
Ronaldo, as again,
5 goals. That was...
Yeah.
Thank you, Arnold. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Regis.
You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. Makeda and I will be right back.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Let's take a look now at news-making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world.
Rwanda has received a good report from the International Monetary Fund after a 2-week economic diagnosis. Rwanda earned top marks on all fronts and secured growth forecast of 6.5% in 2015. The results were reached after painstaking analysis of government data on the country's recent economic developments and several discussions with senior government officials, development partners, and representatives of the business community.
Rwanda has been selected by the East African Community to be the region's center of excellence in e-health, biomedical engineering, health vaccines, and immunization logistics. The appointment was made by health experts of the community who recently met in Uganda for the EAC Health and Scientific Conference. E-health is a growing practice involving the use of electronic processes and communication to promote healthcare. First appearing on the scene in about 16 years ago, it is closely related to health informatics, cyber medicine, and mobile health. Being a low-cost and easily accessible service, it continues to gain ground around the world.
A mobile phone application which was launched last year to support survivors of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi has been updated for added efficiency. The Inchike app was created by young ICT entrepreneurs as a way to help raise money for elderly genocide survivors who are unable to support themselves. It also helps pay tuition for survivors who fail to continue with their university education due to lack of tuition fees. According to one of the developers, the app was inspired by two elderly survivors who had lost their families and struggled with the upkeep of daily life alone.
Members of the Liberal Party are considering legal action against their former president, Prote Mitali, after he failed to account for missing party funds. According to members of the party, there is up to 63 million Rwandan francs that is unaccounted for, and they suspect that he transferred this money to his personal account. Although Mr. Mitali has said that he will pay back the money, a case has officially been tabled with the Ombudsman's office, and he has been relieved of his duties as ambassador to Ethiopia.
And in international news, regional and global leaders have expressed solidarity with Kenya following the recent attack on a college in the country's northeastern region that left 147 people dead. The attack, which Somali-based militants Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for, happened on Thursday morning at the Garissa University College, with mainly students being killed during this attack. Officials have called on the perpetrators to be brought to justice and extended their heartfelt condolences to the government of Kenya, students, faculty, and families affected by the tragedy.
Okay, lots more still to come. We take a look at what's hot right now in our daily debate section, Hot Topics. We'll be right back.
Connect to Lusaka 3 times a week starting 27th March. Enjoy comfort and safety at affordable fares to 17 other destinations across Africa and the Middle East.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Lifestyle now. Makira, what do you have for us?
I have a new campaign launched by a very popular Rwandan musician.
All right, can't wait to hear that.
This past weekend, I went to a fundraising event thrown by none other than famous Rwandan rapper and philanthropist, J. Polly. The event was the opening ceremony for the 2015 Gira Ubuntu campaign, the first of what will eventually become an annual event during the memorial period here in Rwanda. Take a look. The Gira Ubuntu campaign is an initiative spearheaded by the popular musician J. Polly in collaboration with his record label Touch Records, and is designed to raise money for childless widows of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi.
As you guys know of what happened here in Rwanda, like genocide, everybody knows it. So we were in Rwamagana district. We had a concert there. Then by the time we were moving in a road, we saw some like ladies around. They were like poor, very poor, and we tried to know what about them, what their life, you know, and they told us about their life, what happened to them, and we decided to tell people, to let people know about what their life is, what's happening to them.
The initiative comprises of two events, the first being the opening ceremony and the second being the final act of donating the funds to the widows. The funds will be going to helping the women to cover essentials such as water and power.
The fund collected this event will help to realize what we planned this event for. So we'll be on the 18th, that's when we go to the village where we'll show the public what the event of today was for.
Yeah, from here, the fundraising is going to start. So we're going to continue till the end of like 100 days of genocide memorial. We are going to go to Rwamagana district to meet those widows, to give them electricity and water and everything, like mattress and food. It's like we're gonna give out the help, you know.
The opening ceremony featured a who's who of popular Rwandan musicians such as Inhore Masamba, Bruce Melody, Maria Johanna, Miss Jojo, Mani Martin, and of course the host himself, J. Polly. I caught up with a few of the artists to see what brought them out tonight.
Nous avons décidé de participer à ce concert parce qu'il y a un but. Ce but est d'aider les veuves du génocide des Tutsis. C'est plus fort. Quand J. Paul a initié et qu'il m'a contacté, j'ai accepté sans hésiter.
Mbere twabanje kwitabira ubutumire bwa J. Paul wifuje ko dufatanya nk'abahanzi kugira ngo dushobore kugera ku cyifuzo cyo gufasha ababyeyi bacitse ku icumu b'inshike nk'abanyarwanda ku bandi no kubahoza amarira tukaba nk'abana babo cyangwa abavandimwe.
A worthy cause by one of Rwanda's top artists. Makeda Mahario, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
All right, that's pretty good. Now, that's going to last 100 days. That's what Jepoli says in the report. In actuality, when you were there, what did you see that really caught your attention?
Well, I just thought that it was a really good initiative by a young person, you know, because he's extremely influential. He won Primus Guma Guma. He's been one of the popular musicians for a long time, especially with young people. So I thought it was really nice that he decided with his record label to kind of make this campaign. And it's for a group that we don't necessarily think about too much because it's for widows who don't have children. So a lot of times I think that they can kind of get lost in the shuffle because we think about the orphans, the kids, or different things like that. So I'm glad that they brought this up. They just found that there was a problem and they decided to find a solution for it. So I really thought that was very cool, and he had a lot of other artists coming and helping him with it. So I thought it was just a good initiative.
Will that be solely in Kigali? Because he was talking about going all over the country, right?
Now for this particular event, this is just for this happened at Kaizen.
Right.
So it's only for right now, but of course he's raising the funds for some widows in Ramagana that he had met with, like he said in the video. And the money raised from that night, which was on Saturday night that just passed, he's going to donate on the 18th, but they're actually going to be raising funds for the entire 100 days. This is just the first 3 families that they're going to donate to on the 18th, but they're going to be, ongoing initiative for the entire 100 days.
Did you get to talk to the people who attended the concert, and were they impressed?
I hadn't gotten to I didn't get to speak to any of the patrons,
right,
because we were there quite early and we were trying to mostly get interviews with the artists and things like that. But there were a lot of people who were coming in when we were there, and like I said, a lot of young people and people who just want to see a show. So it's really cool that young people are being involved with something like this, to give back to widows who are struggling right now. And like you said, it's just simple things like utilities, power, water, mattresses, things that they don't necessarily have, even airtime. I saw on their press release. So it's a great initiative. I'm really proud of it, and if anyone can get involved with it, definitely I would say do that.
And you have to commend him for getting all those different artists, different generations of artists. That was pretty good.
Definitely, it was very cool.
Right.
All right, well, don't go anywhere. We're coming up next with Hot Topics. Welcome back, and it's that Hot Topics time again. As always, the Rise and Shine team have been out and about gathering everything you need to know about what's happening here and abroad, from what's trending on Twitter to the debates in your local cafe. We have it for you right here and right now. Now, guys, Easter is happening. Yesterday was Easter Sunday, and I know that a lot of times people spend time with their families and stuff like that. Now, for anyone who doesn't know exactly what Easter is all about, it's a time when Christians basically celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. But a lot of times people kind of just get together with their family, eat, and the kids play and stuff like that, since it's always celebrated Easter Sunday. So what did you guys do for Easter?
You go first. I'd like to hear what you did.
Actually, I had a working holiday, so I didn't have a holiday. I was working throughout the whole Easter period, from Good Friday to Saturday. There was a lot of sports taking place in the country, and yeah, I was working.
Okay, Fidelis?
Well, like you said, church, and spent lots of time with the family. Reflected on myself, with Jesus having died, and it's just time to just sit and reflect and think what should I do to become a better person. So that's mostly what I did, and I generally had a better day.
Be a better person.
You'll
Buy
be
me
fine.
Just like Arnold said, in the field we work in, it's hard to get days off on that kind of day. But you still, make sure that you have lunch here and there, and then you have dinner here and there with your loved ones. And to me, it's always about the food. It's all about the food. There's so much on the table, and you don't know where to start, and you can't wait to finish your first place so you can go and add some more. So yeah, it's all about the food.
Everyone always can't wait. You can't wait for the food to get ready so you can
Right.
start eating, and then after you eat, you feel bad because you're so full and you're
I saw a
not
tweet
comfortable anymore.
earlier that it was hilarious. A friend of mine posted it. He was at a family gathering for Easter Sunday, and then an uncle started. He's the one that said the prayer, and then everybody said amen before he said amen. So he's like, "You guys are that hungry? I started the prayer. Y'all are the ones saying amen before me." Like,
Okay, nice. Everyone, it seems like, working or not.
You?
At least I was working as well. What can I say?
Yeah, we
What
work
can I
on.
say?
We're working. Yeah.
Okay, so the next hot topic is actually these horrific attacks that happened in Garissa. And actually social media has really gone up and you know, kind of stood together to you know, talk about this. And you know, I think a lot of the gripe about it. So basically, what happened is that there were 147 victims in an attack by Al-Shabaab in the northeastern section of Kenya at Garissa University College. And it was mostly students that were killed in this terror attack, and it was just horrific, basically. And I think so. Over the weekend, we've seen, you know, everyone obviously talking about this because it's a huge deal. But I think one of the things that people were really focusing on a lot, especially on social media, is the fact that, you know, this crazy thing has happened in Kenya, and it doesn't even have a fraction of the attention that the Charlie Hebdo attacks had. So it's I think people are really upset about that. They're upset that it even happened to begin with. It's just a confusing situation. So what are you guys' take on this?
I believe that that whole the way it's covered is not the same way Charlie Hebdo was covered.
There was no march, there were no world leaders there.
That's to be expected a little bit. We're always going to be the forgotten ones when it comes to that. And I don't expect much. I know where, you know, the tides lie, and, you know, I've never been one to like complain about it. I know it's going to happen. But what I'm saying is our own, there should be a bit more solidarity when something like that happens. I'm saying we should have more marches here and elsewhere, and the outcry should be bigger than what we have. I mean, a tweet here and there is cool, it's nice, it's trendy, but there's a way to like demonstrate outrage and anger that's more, to me, that, you know, the voice is bigger and stronger.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, again, it shows the double standards of the world. Especially, I would be more disappointed with the African leaders who were in France for the Charlie Hebdo march, and they are not, you know, making similar comments. But again, let's remember Westgate. The impact the Westgate attack had on the world, being that Westgate, there were majorly foreigners, or what we call expatriates, who are living in Kenya, and this happening in Garissa, in, you know, hardly any foreigners, and you don't feel it has the same impact, yet, you know, 147 lives have been lost. I love the fact that the East African community leaders were quick in responding to the situation and sending out their condolences, and the East African community trying to stand as one in this hard moment for, you know, Kenya. But again, this is a message to some of our politicians who try to play the politics at a time like this, when people need to be comforted and, you know, to be, there are some of them, you know, you hold their hands at a time like this. Don't come out and play the blame game. You know, let's pull out of Somalia. Let's pull out, why did the Americans pull out of Iraq? You know, those kind of things. So I feel politicians shouldn't choose this as a chance. Some politicians are already going ahead in Kenya saying the president didn't take the attack seriously. Again, and it shows you that what corruption can do to a nation, you know, because most of these attackers got into Kenya after paying off a few officials and Kenyan defense forces here and there, according to media reports.
There's even news that came out, unconfirmed maybe, that a son of one government's, well, someone important in the government was part of the attack, like part of the attackers.
It would be unfortunate.
I feel like it's truly horrific. I mean, these are students, you know.
Right.
You send your kid to school to get an education, you think you send them to a safe place, and then something like this happens.
It just goes to show
parents
that
are
these
traumatized.
things,
Exactly.
it can happen anywhere.
And then there were reports of you know, embassies and all this sending warnings to the people who are coming into the country, telling them you should not go to this particular part of Kenya because it's unsafe. Why don't people divert that kind of effort, those kinds of efforts, into just getting rid of this problem in the first place, as opposed to, you know, all this. It's really sad.
Well, we'll be hearing more about it. Hopefully more people will tell us about it. Don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us your ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page, where you can catch all the shows and the reports we do. Find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We'd love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, but we really do love to hear your feedback and any ideas that you have for the show, so make sure to send them in. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Makeda Mahario.
And me, Regis Isheja. And we'll be back same time, same place tomorrow morning. So tune in. But on behalf of us too, of this beautiful team right here, wishing you to have a great Monday and a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Bye.